Hello everybody, it's been a while since I've shared a new video with you and I'm very sorry about that. I started a new job May 1st and it's a full-time job. I've always had full-time jobs, but it's another full-time job and it's just taken up all my time and my energy just to get settled. And I feel like I'm settled now, so I want to get back into sharing more videos. I have been filming things here and there, so this video is going to be about sharing what we've been up to these past couple of weeks. We've finished up some projects and I've been finding lots of new fun bits and pieces for the house and for the garden and for our wedding. So this video is going to be a compilation of all of that, all of the projects and all of the lovely things that I've been buying, which I will share at the end of this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. I've still got these 3 plants of wild garlic that I need to plant, and I'm going to put them in this old pan. I mean, I'm saving all of this for our wedding, for plants and flowers. I've got a whole lot more actually. There's some big ones and smaller, and there's lots along here, and then there is more along here, and then smaller ones on the table. So I'm really collecting a lot for our wedding, but I'm not going to be using this specific one for our wedding, so I think it'll be perfect for another little pot of wild garlic. I've got one of these big ones filled out front with wild garlic, and I've got these left, so you know, you can never have too much wild garlic, I feel like. So yeah, I think this will be great. And what I also bought recently are these fun plant labels. These are available on Amazon, and you get a couple of just plain slate labels and you have to write on them yourself. And they come with all of these stands. That's where you hang them from. And then you get this really cute plant label. So I need to order a whole lot more, but I just wanted to try them out. But they're a great success. I love them. It's exactly what I was looking for. So as usual, I went to my local charity shop and I bought this beautiful square terracotta pot. That was $3.50, and this basket also for $3.50. And I went to the garden centre a couple of days ago and I'm gonna put this cute little plant in my new pot. Hello everybody, it is time to get on with another one of our big projects that we've got on our list, and that big project is dividing our big field in two. As you see, we've already spun a line here to determine where we're going to divide it, but this must be done. As you know, we have sheep. Here they are. And the thing that's very important for sheep management is that we can move them around different fields. It's very important for soil quality, and that's really good in turn for the grass quality, and most importantly for the health of the sheep. Now at the moment we have this big field in the back and then we have the orchard in the front, and during summer every couple of weeks we move them around so that the grass gets the opportunity to grow. In winter, they stay on the big field because they have the big barn over there and that's where we feed them their hay. But in summer, it's very important for them to change around quite regularly so that the grass really gets a good opportunity to grow and be strong and healthy for them. And since we only have 4 sheep, they don't really need to be on this giant field all the time. So in order for us to be able to have one part roped off so that they can graze this area and vice versa, we really need to put a fence up so that we can close this off so that this side or this side, doesn't really matter, but for the sake of the argument, that this side really has the chance to grow healthy long grass for them. And then we can close this off and let this grow. So just for optics, we've put this rope here just to show us where we want the fence, but we really need to build a solid fence. We've roped this off every year. However, our sheep, and we've been really good at it. We've had like sheep fencing on here and all sorts of things, and even electric wires, but our sheep are very, very hardy and they just push their way through, and they always break through. It just, every single morning you get up, you look out the window and they've broken through the fence. So it's really time for us to get a solid fence in here. So that's what we're on to now. The fiance is building a gate, a big old gate similar to that one over there. Actually, it's the same style as all of our gates, including that small one there, and we've got these gates all over our property. So there's going to be 2 big gates here, and then the whole thing is going to be fenced off. So I think that's really going to be helpful with our grass management this year. And it's also very important for sheep to have fresh grass as long as possible into winter. And I think we manage it until the end of November, and then we really need to start giving them hay. So hopefully we might be able to last a little bit longer so they can profit from all the nutrients that are in the fresh grass. So we're actually moving this gate. This one's going to be used for the new fence in the middle here, around about here, I reckon. And then my fiance has built a new gate across here, and it's looking so good. I'll show you in a minute. He's so good at this. Honestly, he's not a professional, but it genuinely looks like a professional job. So I'm really happy with it. We're going to have a new gate here, and this is going to look great in the middle here. I just wanted to show you the gates that my fiance built. This is actually the back, I think, of one. Yeah, and that's the front. I'll show you when it's all in place and finished. But I think he's done an absolutely fantastic job. It looks professional, it looks great, and very happy with that. These are the posts for the fence, but he's done a fantastic job. I'm very proud of him. This isn't like his day job or anything, not even close, but he's just very good at DIY, and well, this proves that. Another great project that my fiance has started on is this cobblestone path. Previously there used to be a path here with these kind of bricks, but it was really quite small, up to about where my foot is here, I think, and the rest was grass, but really ugly grass. So we've decided to widen it and add these cobblestones, and we already had these cobblestones. We've got lots more because the previous owners had a pond in this garden which was horrible, and they had these stones around it, and so we're reusing these for this cobblestone path. And we're continuing it along until the shed here, which in time will be replaced by a wooden shed. And we are thinking about actually continuing it along until the opening here to the duck run. But first we're going to see how far we get with the stones. There's lots more still to come, so we're going to get quite far, but I think this looks amazing. I mean, again, my fiance is not a professional at all, but he's such a good DIYer. He could really pass off as a professional because this looks amazing. He's done so well, and I can't wait to see it finished. Now this ugly bit is, for the moment, our terrace by the house, but we're going to replace all of this with gravel, just like I have in the kitchen garden. So we're digging all of this out this summer, and it's going to be all new. This is one final big project, I think. Well, I'm sure we'll think of some more, but I can't wait for this to change, and it's going to look amazing, connected to the cobblestone path. So this is the halfway finished product. We're going to continue it along until the opening here to our duck run, and in the meantime we've also created this new little border here in which I have sown my sunflowers, so I think that's going to look adorable. But we're going to continue this on, but this was part one. We've got quite a lot of stones left over in here, so we'll be able to use those, and I think it's going to look amazing. But I mean, he's done such a fantastic job along here. I'm very happy with it. So I think it's about time to share with you all the bits and pieces that I've been buying recently, and it is quite a lot. So instead of gathering it all in one place and showing it all together, and since it's been a couple of weeks, everything's already found its way around my home and my garden, I'm just going to walk around the house and the gardens and show you everything in their place. So I'm going to start off in the kitchen. There's a couple of new bits here in this kitchen, and one thing that I did not share with you guys is that very recently I went for another weekend to my family in France. I went with my sister, and I just was not in the mood to share or to film. I just wanted to be present. I was tired, I wanted to relax. But I do know that there will be many more trips to France, so I will definitely take you along with me again on that trip. However, we did stop at 2 Emmaüs shops in France, which are like they're like charity shop chains all over France. They're very, very cheap, and we always find the most amazing French pots. So, for instance, this is one of them, and I think they're like €1 or €2 each. They're very, very cheap. I'll share the rest of them as well. I picked this up at a charity shop very locally here. I bought this smaller French bowl the last time I was in France, and then I found this very big one for, I think it was €3 as well, and they match perfectly, so I'm very happy with those. I'll just do a quick pan of all the French pots that I've bought recently. I bought this yellow one at a previous visit to France, and then recently I got these two as well. I visited a new to me local Brocante a couple of weeks ago, and I have to say, huge success. I will be going back, and I bought this beautiful stoneware jug that you do see all over Britain, and that's why I love it as well. It just brings back so many memories. I think I bought this for €40, It was a definite yes for me, and I love it. At the same place that I got the stoneware jug, I also got this felt pumpkin. I know it's not in season at all, but I saw it, and I've got a couple of different felt pumpkins for the season, so I couldn't leave this behind. I think it was €3. So that's going to join my collection. At the same place as the stoneware jug and the pumpkin, I also got this cardboard dove. I assume it was used in a classroom somewhere. I love this kind of thing. It's old, and I just love this as a feature. It just lives in our bookcase for now. So next to the Brocante, there's like a countryside gift shop, farm shop, which that's the kind of thing I love. So I picked up these bits and pieces, some gardener's soap on a string, some napkins and some rope. And I love this kind of thing for ourselves, but also for gifts. Another French jug. It's actually a rosé jug. It's got one of those areas here in the middle that you can put ice in to keep your rosé cool. I love these kind of things for flowers. Again, for about €1 or €2. So I'm now in my entrance hall. I mean, you can hardly call it a hall, it's really tiny. But I have this marble table in here housing some of my French pots with the cast iron leg, very, very heavy. And I was at my local charity shop recently, and I found this tiny one. And I paid $17.50, I think, for this, but I thought it would go perfectly with its bigger sister. And at the same charity shop, just a couple of weeks later, I found another one that lives outside for $12.50, but I'll show you that when I get outside. So this cabinet in my sitting room houses paraphernalia and lots of little collector's items. And something that I also bought at the new to me Brocante were these very old antique little toys. I don't know what they're made of, but I feel like there's some paper involved, and they're very, very old 18th century toys. And yeah, we couldn't resist picking those up. And I think they were €5 each. I found these teasels at the side of the road in France, and I still need to find a place for them, but I love them. The big, big flowers on top, beautiful. Now the final things in my sitting room, I think, and I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but are some bits and pieces for my wedding. I've got some big baskets, and I've been collecting little small ones, and these ones, well, for now, just in terms of storage, I'm going to be putting lots of these little tea lights on the tables. I've got more of them, but for storage this is great. But I you know, you've always got these bits and pieces all over your wedding, so that's what I like to use all these small baskets for. And of course, more copper candlestick holders. This really big one can go on the bar or something, and then the smaller ones on the table. This is really quite dirty, so I need to thoroughly clean that, but they're beautiful, ready for my wedding. Now moving on upstairs, this is my side of the bed. Lots of antiques, love it. I found this dough ball at my local charity shop recently for $1.50. It's a really old one, and I love just having a catch-all like that beside my bed. I bought this basket for $3.50. Beautiful. Again, for the wedding, for flowers, and even afterwards for flowers, so, or cushions or whatever, so love that. You would think I bought this big French comfy pot in France, but I did not actually. I found this at my local charity shop for, I think it was €13. It's really big, so very happy with that. For for my collection. So another thing that I bought, Otto. Oh, it's so hard to film with this boy. Yes, it is. Another thing that I bought, and I hope you can hear me over the noise that he's making, is this really adorable little bench. It was €7.50. I couldn't leave it behind. They sell for quite a bit more, and for now it lives here in my boot room and utility room. I might gift it to someone, I might not, but it is actually quite useful. In here, oh no, Otto, he's jumping all over me. And yeah, I couldn't leave that behind. And it does really quite go well here, so we'll see. You naughty boy, you naughty, naughty boy. He loves playing with these kind of balls. Not tennis balls, not any kind of different balls, but these specific ones, so there you go. Good boy. We found this bench just randomly on the side of the road. So there's a whole bunch of stuff there, a bunch of wood just left over by someone, just dumped at a really random spot on the side of the road, and we found this bench in that. So, you know, it's going to look lovely with these plants. It's now here temporarily on the terrace that still needs replacing. That's what we're going to do this summer. I've put a few plants on there. I think that's a great free find. I also bought this bird bath for just a couple euros. I'm really looking for a big one somewhere in our big border here. But I find this kind of thing, I love this kind of thing. It's adorable for a great price, and it lives here on my bistro set. This is the table in my kitchen garden that I keep all the small galvanized buckets and pots on. These are new. I found these. I think they were €1.50 each. So those are new. They'll become handy for our wedding. This is all going to be used for our wedding, for plants and flowers and everything. So these are going to really come in handy. And I also found these two beautiful terracotta pots. I think this one might have been $4.50 and this one $3.50. Really beautiful, and they live on here until I can find a home for them. But you know, I've also, this is new. Here's, I think, this one as well, and this small one. So there's a couple of new ones in here that I've bought in the last couple of weeks. I also bought this larger but still smaller galvanized bucket, this little garden rake for 50 cents, and I really like the size of this terracotta tray. Very heavy, but I have some seedlings that I have in there that I can water and they can soak up the water. I bought these two pots in France. They're actually plastic, but when you have really large plants in them, it's already heavy enough without being a terracotta pot, and I really like the look of these. I always have. They were €10 each, and they're really big ones, so I've got a few big plants that need repotting, so I brought those home with me. So this is the other little marble table with the cast iron base that I found. This one was €12, and I've placed it here by my little galvanized pond with my stone otter on top that can peer into the pond for the non-existent fish. And now that I'm looking at it, I also bought this little dog. Thought he was adorable for €1 and lives on here. I bought this very heavy parasol base for €5. It's incredibly heavy, but I really loved the shape, and I really don't mind the moss on there. It's very sturdy, because there were more where I found them at the charity shop, and they were round ones, and I have seen the round ones all over, but I've never seen this flower shape. And for €5 I needed a new one. The wind can get quite strong here, so I needed a really heavy one, and I really like the shape, and once the gravel is down here I think it'll look great. Again, I found another plastic plant pot, really big as well. One of my big plants, it was $3.50, and from a distance it really does not look like plastic, so I'm always happy with those. And another space to put one of my big plants. I also bought these 2 metal ferns in France. They were €6 or €7 each, and I have these ferns here in our duck run, so I thought they would look quite lovely there as well. Look at our wildflower coming up. With this rain and this temperature, it's really going quickly, so this is going to look lovely. This is just temporary fencing around it so that the dogs and the ducks don't go through them. When this comes up a little bit more, we can remove it. That's going to look so lovely with all the wildflower. So one more thing I want to show you that I bought at the Brocante, which is new to me, which is local but new to me, is this plant stand. I love the shape of this. This holds my very big hollyhock, which otherwise will flop over. I think I'm going again in a couple of weeks to the same place. I think I might buy 1 or 2 more for various places in the garden. So I think that is everything that I bought inside and outside. I'm 100% sure that I've forgotten about something, but if I do remember, I'll share that with you in another video. But I really want to thank you for watching, and hopefully see you soon.